To the United Stand live on a Friday afternoon because we've got some good, positive, official news from Manchester United Football Club that Daniel James has agreed and signed a deal with Manchester United pending completion later next week. The formalities, I suppose, but medical passed. He is a Manchester United player and it's actually official. So it's our first signing of the summer, done and dusted. And there's two real positives from this for me. First of all, I wanted this announced before the weekend because I believe there are big deals happening next week. And if we were waiting till next week to do Daniel James, then maybe we didn't have other things in the pipeline. So I think get Daniel James. I mean, why not wait till next week to announce this? We knew he was there for the medical yesterday, but a lot of journalists were saying, oh, they'll wait till next week to do it. Why not wait till next week? Why do it at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon? Because there's other stuff to come next week. So that is a positive, and hopefully this is the snowball effect that we now want to see into the remainder of this transfer window. So very, very positive about that. Daniel James, an exciting young talent from the Championship. And that's the second thing I want to say as well. For anybody who's slightly concerned about this sort of deal, look, Josh Richardson says, don't get too gassed, because let's not face it. I don't know what that's what meant to mean. I think you're probably being quite negative about the player. What I would say is, look at James Maddison last season, signed from Norwich for Leicester, had an amazing season. So it can happen. It can happen very, very easily. And as I said before, we were talking about this yesterday, he's such a different type of player to what we have. He won't fit in. He can't hang about in our midfield with Matic and Pogba and McTominay passing it side to side with Lingard. He can't do that. Daniel James will be like, forget about it. It's like when you pop into Greg's and you said, have you got any hot sausage rolls ready? There'll be 5 minutes. Forget it. I haven't got time. I'll run to the next one. That's Daniel James. He ain't got time to hang about. He's too fast. He can't do 5-yard little sideways passing. He's got to go. It's like, give me the ball now, get it in front of me, and I'm off. I'm not waiting about. And it's a very different style of player that we're bringing into the club. And I think a lot of that's to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So we don't know the length of the contract. I'd predict it's 5 years. We don't know the value of the signing. I'd say it's between 15 million and 20 million pounds. And we don't know the value of his wages. I'd say they're about 65,000, which some people think's a lot because he's on about $4,000 a week at Swansea. But if his agent's any good, Manchester United might have said, we'll give you 50 grand. No, I want 65 at least because you're paying Ashley Young 120 and everyone knows it. So look, wages are wages, but it is confirmed, silent but deadly. Get on Manchester United official Twitter, get on Manchester United official Instagram. He has been announced as a Manchester United player pending the formalities. I think Simon Peach, who's a very good journalist to follow on Twitter, he's basically saying that this is because the FIFA or UEFA transfer window doesn't actually officially open until August the 11th, which I think is Tuesday, for the finalisation of the paperwork. But forget all that. He's passed the medical. United have done the deal. He wants to come to Manchester United. United have tweeted it out. It's done. It's done. It's a done deal. It's put into the box and we move on from that. And as you can see, Daniel James, I've only given you Championship stats there, and some people might say it's uninspiring, but 7 out of 10 rating. It's better than most of our players who were getting 4s and 5s. 7 assists, 4 goals, 28 games. So I think that we've got a good player in there in relation to Daniel James, and I'm very, very pleased about him, which means we can then open up into what's going to come next for Manchester United. Jin Anmasarang says, I'm feeling depressed about De Ligt not coming. Well, you know what? De Ligt still could come, but what I'm looking at now is Bruno Fernandes. And for anybody who's been watching the United Stand, make sure you subscribe, get involved in the best United fan community there is, which is the United Stand. The live comments is going like that. The comments below. You know what I've been saying for 3 months about what three targets I was told Manchester United were going to sign this summer. I think we know Sancho's probably not going to happen, but it still could. Bruno Fernandes. I think that's the next deal that United are going to do. I know that United have been after him for a very long time. They've been scouting him all of last season, and he is their top priority. And they are going big to try and get him. So let's see when that gets announced. That could be early next week. And as I've said, where's all the in the nose on this one? Where's all the, it's done this, that, and the other? I told you 2 months ago. I was told this at the start of March, that Bruno Fernandes was Manchester United's priority in that midfield position, and it's looking like it's going to happen. Pack 376, I'll be damned if Ed considers James as our right wing signing. Yeah, well, that can't be the case. He cannot be our right wing signing, Daniel James. For me, Daniel James, 21 years of age, he comes into this team as an exciting up-and-coming player with the hunger and talent to go to the very next level. That's what we're buying. I think he's a bench player next season. I think he's an exciting last 20-minute option, and I think that that's what he's got to be seen as. You don't chuck a young player from the Championship into your first team squad and say go into the first team and say go and solve problems for Manchester United. We're shit. That's not what's going to happen. We're looking at a player here who's got the potential to go and be a very, very good player for Manchester United, and I really hope that he is. I really, really hope that he is, because we do need to effectively start working forward, don't we? Didn't know Rashford's only 10 days older than James, says Tom Hazelwood. Yeah, I mean, you can take that one of two ways, can't you? Is it, it just shows you the development of Marcus Rashford over the years. I thought Rashford did okay last night, but I'm just very, very glad, for those joining us a little bit late. We know everything about Daniel James. We've known this deal was going to get done. It could have maybe got done 2 or 3 weeks ago, but a lot of people were reporting he's done the medical yesterday. He'll be announced next week. We've announced him today. And that, to me, suggests we've announced him today because there's other announcements to come next week, which is very, very, very positive news. They're clearing the schedule for next week, I feel. I think Daniel James will be at Old Trafford next week, and we will see some photos of him. But maybe we'll do what we've done in the past. We'll announce another deal at the start of the next week, and then you can have double release of photos with Daniel James and that new signing as well. I'd like to see United doing that, because we do need to do that. I don't think we've got time to do one signing, hold up the scarf. Next week, one signing, hold up the scarf. I think United need to go back to the days of maybe having 2 or 3 players there together holding the scarf with the manager, because that's the sort of influx of players that we need to have. Ice Cold Killer Triple X says, bullshit, the window's not open till 11th of June. Wenger. Yeah, I don't get what that's all about, to be honest with you. I can go to that in a minute, and I'll show you what it says. Mawul Katamani says the post on Daniel James has a badge that says youth, courage and success. That's very exciting. Exactly. We're building for the future. I think that's what Manchester United are doing. Jack Coleman says Maddison or Fernandes. I think Fernandes will come. Where did they announce it? Says Juicebox. So it's on Twitter and it's on their official Instagram account as well. So Daniel James to Manchester United is it's a done deal. It's a done deal. You'll get your photographs and you'll get further details next week. But I think that Bruno Fernandes will be the next one. And to be honest with you, the United stand has pretty much been the one that's been going on about this for a very, very long time. And, I'm very excited to see it happen, because I don't want this channel to be held up as the one that's giving you inside information. I think those people who do that are absolute bullshit merchants, but you can only reflect what you've been told. Right, okay, let me tell you what it says. So Daniel James to become Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first signing as Manchester United club say further details will be communicated once the international transfer window opens next week. Then I'm sure there was something about youth, courage, success. Sneaky suspicion that Manchester United will use that slogan again this summer. That's what we're looking to focus on. Don't let me down, Simon Peach. I'm sure I saw you put something about the 11th of June. Let me just have a look at this. We are live, so stick with me. No, I saw some. Maybe it wasn't him who said it then. Oh no, here it is. Terms agreed for Daniel James. Swansea can confirm. So this is from Swansea Football Club, actually. It wasn't from him. Swansea can confirm that the club has agreed terms with Manchester United for winger Daniel James. The Premier League club has also agreed personal terms with James following a successful medical at Old Trafford. So terms agreed with Swansea, terms agreed with the player, medical passed, deal done. The transfer is expected to be completed when FIFA's international transfer window opens from June the 11th. The club will make further comment then. So it's Swansea Football Club saying that the transfer is expected to be completed when FIFA's international transfer window opens from June the 11th. So why the fuck? I mean, I'm sorry to swear there. Why do we open our transfer window in the middle of May when 2 British clubs, Swansea in the Championship and Manchester United in the English Premier League, cannot announce a deal until FIFA's international transfer window opens on the 11th of June? I mean, what's the point in us opening our transfer window? So we've done the deal with Swansea, we've done the deal with James, we've done the medical, everything's agreed, but it can't be officially ratified until FIFA's international transfer window opens on June the 11th, even though the English Premier League transfer window has been open since the middle of May. So there you go. It just tells you what a waste of time it is opening our transfer window a month early and closing it a month early, because you can't actually do anything. So yeah, very, very pleased. Very, very pleased that Daniel James is done. As I was saying to those people at the start, the fact that Daniel James is from the Championship should not be a concern for anybody. Look at James Maddison, went from Norwich in the Championship to Leicester in the Premier League and had an amazing season. It can be done. And I think it's snobbery. You need to have a look at the Championship. It's one of the toughest leagues in the world. You play 46 games in there. You're basically playing a game nearly every 3 days for 9 months. It's competitive. There's a lot of teams around the same ability. And if you're no good, you don't stand out. I mean, look at what Swansea's done for Villa this season. The second thing is, I think it's brilliant that Manchester United have announced this today. I really wasn't expecting it. You get to 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and your mind starts thinking about drinks after work and the weekend. And United go and announce that Daniel James is done. They don't need to do it now. It's a rubbish time to do it. A lot of people are switching off and thinking about other things. So why announce your first signing of the summer? Because they've got something else coming up next week. And that really is exciting. And I think it is Bruno Fernandes. And if it is, it's going to be a high five to the United standards, because we've been talking about this for a very long time. And I think it's a very, very good deal for Manchester United, despite what a lot of people do think. You people need to stop spamming FIFA. We just announced a new signing, you praise. Yeah, it's because I was playing FIFA. I was just about to start playing FIFA, and then the Daniel James deal got announced. So a lot of people are like, oh, please go and play FIFA again. But as I said on that stream, my priority is always going to be the United stand and talking about Manchester United. That's what we're here to do. So get in the comments, what are your thoughts on what's coming up next for Manchester United? Do you think it will be the snowball effect? Do you think he will be the player that Manchester United need? Is Daniel James a good signing? I think it is. I do. I think that Manchester United have made a very good move here, and I think that these sort of things portray a change in direction for Manchester United that is very, very welcome. Very, very welcome indeed. So yeah, very, very pleased about it. Smash a like on the video for Daniel James. It's official. I forgot about that. We always do that. When we make a signing on the United stand, we smash a like on the video, because it's nice that when we look back on this in 6 months or 5 years, you see 5,000 likes on the video, because he's a United player now. So make him feel welcome. Let's not be negative. Smash a like on the video for that. I think he will be a good player for his snaps. I think patience is very important. I mean, we are talking about Daniel James here, and I think expectations need to be... I remember when Ronaldo came. I remember when Roy Keane came. And I'm thinking about young talents that come to Manchester United. And you have to be patient. Even thinking about people like Nani when they came. And even the players that haven't worked out well. You've got to be patient. Even Rooney. You've got to be patient. It's not... There can be no expectation that he comes in and relights Old Trafford and gets it going. Thanks for the contribution, Nishanamath. I think that he will be... I think he's going to be a very exciting player, and I think he suits games where, at the start of the season, certainly, because remember, it's a week today, we get the fixtures for next season are coming out. I think at the start of the season, he needs to be on the bench and last 20 minutes, something a little bit different. He's certainly a player. I think a lot of people think, because he's so quick, you need the game to be stretched. He's actually got very good ball control as well. And I think if you give him the ball at his feet, he's very direct. So he can make things happen. He gets fouled a lot. He can create. I think, to me, I think he's better than Lingard already, whether that's hard or not. But I don't think he's the right-sided solution. I think Martial should probably a little bit concerned, because that's his position there. But I think if the season after this, in a year's time, if he's pushing to be our left winger, he's ahead of schedule. I think he's there to be an option. He's there to get involved. He's there to be a bench player, and he's there to develop and grow. And I think, for 15 million, 20 million pounds, that's absolutely superb. We do need to sell the Deadwood fortified pipe. Yes, we do. He'll be a starter in the cup game, says Ryan Banz. Well, remember, I don't want to get into this conversation now, but I think next season is about getting into the top four. Fourth or third will be very, very good for us. I know that's depressing to say that in June about where we're going to finish next May, but third or fourth would be a good season for us. We're not winning the league. Winning a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup would actually be a bonus. And I know we've arrogantly said they're not important in the past, because they're not. They're tiny little things, but how low we are as a football club now, they are really important. And the Europa League's important. Chelsea are in the Champions League because of it. Yeah, they finished third, well done. But I think that we need to take that into account as well. So Europa League games could be very important for someone like Daniel James. It means you can rotate your squad about, and we desperately need to do that. Anup Ayapan says, I'm just waiting for exits. Clearing Deadwood would be as crucial as any signings. I hope Lukaku and Sanchez are gone. Look, I just hope that this Daniel James signing is the snowball. This deal is done now. We can move forward. No one's going to be waiting for Daniel James to be made official now, because it's done. We go into the weekend, we have a little bit of a break, and next week the real work starts. Daniel James is done. He's in the pocket. Maybe Lukaku goes next week. Maybe Bruno Fernandes comes in at the early next week. Then we go and do a couple more. We've got this is the snowball. Chuck it as hard as you can into that hill of snow. Let's start an avalanche. That's what we need to see happening at Manchester United. I hope the Ollie doesn't start Lingard instead of James, says Keenan Sital. Look, Lingard's going to be a first teamer. We know that. Whether he's part of the problem or the solution, we'll find out. Great signing. Hopefully Fernandes next week, and then crack on with signings and a centre-back afterwards, says Will Clapham. There's so much for Manchester United to do over this transfer window, but I think it's really exciting that we've got that first deal over the line. Alec Dukas says that YouTube has shut off my notifications for the United Stand. Just make sure you subscribe, mate, and then ring the bell next to the subscribe to get your notifications. It does play up sometimes. Rabiotti's liking United content, says Robbie Ogliv. Yeah, but so's Delit. You know, if that means they're coming to Manchester United, then great, it's legit. But let's wait. Declan Rice is apparently a hard deal to do. A few people talking about him. There's a feeling that that Manchester United can't do that deal, but we'll wait and see. And thoughts on Icardi, Mark? I would sign Icardi personally, but I know a lot of people don't think so. But in conclusion, Daniel James is a Manchester United player. Smash a like on the video. Welcome Daniel James. It's done. Swansea have agreed terms. Manchester United have agreed terms. The players agreed terms. The medical's passed. And he's a Manchester United player. 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, we announce it. Some would say, what are United up to? I think it's really about getting it announced so that next week, there's a lot of things United need to be doing elsewhere now. Welcome to the club, Daniel James. Positive signing for the future. I hope he goes on to have a great career at United. He's not meant to be the major signing. He's not meant to be, oh, is that all you've got? He's just part of the summer signings. And if Daniel James is part of 4 of the signings, great. So, yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. We're back again at 8 o'clock tonight. So join us at 8 o'clock tonight for that. Bonus show. Daniel James, welcome. Smash a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're on that road to 500,000 subscribers. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing the video. Keep getting involved with the United Stand. I'll tell you what, if we're doing a video about Bruno Fernandes signing for Manchester United, United Stand in the know. We've been talking about it for ages. I can't wait for it to happen. Speak to you all soon.